Okay, so let's start. So it's interesting in shiatsu. A lot of times, traditionally, they start working on stomach, working stomach for a little diagnosis, feel stomach, see how they're doing. But this is something I've borrowed from Thai practice, where I start a person's feet. I think it's easier to start to receive rather than first thing stomach. A lot of times, maybe a little bit too intimate for somebody, unnecessary maybe. But we start at the feet. It's always good, helps ground the person, calm their central nervous system. And we can start by compressions and tractions to start to open up the lower body. So this is where we start. So I'm starting here in between, so just make some contact at first, right? And I'm going to scoop up underneath the heels and just lean back with my body weight. So you see the motion in her body, right? And it's simply by me leaning back, not pulling. So I'm using my body weight to create openness, right? Just body weight. So if you're like this and you're going like this, you're pulling, using muscle. There, using my body weight. Traction okay, Christine?
Yes. I could tell the difference when you were pulling and when you were using your body weight.
Yeah. No, it is a noticeable difference. And that goes not only for traction, but compressions. When somebody's pushing on you as opposed to leaning in. So I'm going to relax this and put the legs down. And then I'll take my hands. I'm going to do alternating compression to start to open up the ankles and the knees a little bit. So you notice how I'm utilizing my body weight here. Again, I'm not doing this, but I'm shifting my weight to extended arm to get to compression, right? So compressing, and then start doing something else. So it's the same movement, but now I'm going to use just the pads of my thumbs, just to start to sink in. Just to sink in around the ankles and around the arches of the feet. Nice and easy. Right. Pressure's okay?
Yes.
And then I'm going to go in the ball of the big toe. You know, big toe is really important on the balance of the person. Right? So I'm just working around the base of the big toe a little bit to the arch. Okay. Just a little nice warm-up, right? It's going to start here. A little traction on the toes.
Nice pumps.
Yeah. The Tin Man today.
Usually I have to put those in post-production, but I'm glad that you're pumping. Thank you. Save me a little time in the editing room. Okay, so a little warm-up of the feet. Yes, and now we're going to just choose one leg. So I'm going to lift up. Just checking your ink. Lifting up. And I'm going underneath her right leg, I'm choosing, and I'm putting my right leg underneath her right leg. So it supports the knee. And I'm in line with the leg. And I'm just going to grab a whole heel, top of foot, inhale, exhale, lean back for traction. Start to open up the ankle, the knee, and the hip. In Chinese medicine, they say that the energy has a tendency to get stuck in the joints because of the compression. So the work has a lot of traction in it, opening up the joints so that the chi can, the energy, the chi can float more freely. Okay. Then I'm going to do range of motion of the foot. And again, it's not this, but I'm using my body weight. Nice full range of motion one way, and then the other. And I'm going to rotate the foot. Do a nice twisting of the foot. One way, then the other. Okay. So here's leg, outside hand. Stretch hamstring. So you see the transition. So not a big move. So I'm like this. I'm just going to put this like this outside. And I'm gonna just move up a little bit. And when you move up, the leg goes up. Right? Easy stretch. I'm gonna bend the knee. Put the foot right on the mat. And I'm gonna move the heel as close to her gluteal as possible. So you notice I'm sitting in figure 4, and the inside leg, I'm just going to place right at the toes to stabilize the foot so it doesn't slip. And intertwine my fingers above the knee and just lean back. Look at that motion in our hip. Awesome. And that's just from shifting my weight back. Work down and then work back up. And one last thing. I'm going to slip the foot away, still underneath my leg for support. But now I'm going to take the pads of my fingers and curl them right in between the gastrocs. So you know the calf, the gastroc, 2 heads. But behind the knee, it sort of splits. So you can stick the pads, not the tips, but the pads of your fingers in between the gastroc head and then just lean back like this. And you get nice digital compression right in between there. The fascia gets stuck quite a bit in between those gastroc heads. There's also a line of energy that runs right through the gastroc, the bladder meridian. And he's going to take that all the way down to the Achilles tendon, which is the gastroc turning into tendinous tissue. And then we're going to end with a squeeze of the gastroc. So I'm going to intertwine my fingers behind here like this. I'm just going to put a squeeze in on her leg, right? Just like that. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So I'm squeezing and sort of pulling the muscle away from the bone, create a little space. So squeezing and then just moving it away. Pressure's okay?
Yeah.
All right. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So that's what we're going to do so far. Okay, and we'll end it like this, so the leg's not up. So we're going to go like this. And by just doing this, helps open up. Knees over here, nice and easy. Let's see if that's, I'm still trying to figure out how many techniques to do with y'all. If that was too many or not enough, we'll see.
That was enough.
Yeah, definitely. My camera person says that's enough. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, camera person.